The Air Force reforms one of Wagga's proudest squadrons. Wagga has hosted an extremely rare event in Air Force history today, the reforming of an entire squadron. And for the men of Wagga's number 31 squadron, today's announcement is a dream come true.
For 70 years, Air Force planes have flown the skies over Forest Hill, but today's anniversary parade had special significance. The number 31 squadron was signed back into active service after a 64-year absence. Original member Jack Anderson today celebrated the milestone with the Air Force community.
It's absolutely amazing because we have tried for years and years and years to get this to happen. And of course we ran into bureaucracy, I suppose, and but it's absolutely amazing that it's finally achieved.
Number 31 was formed at Forest Hill in 1942. After 4 years active service in World War II, particularly in the Pacific, it was disbanded. Now it's back as a support squadron.
So basically they do a lot of the support for the base itself, visiting aircraft, visiting people, and they will have a reserve function because up until now Wagga hasn't had a reserve squadron.
Former 31ers like Jack came along today with history posters for the newbies and a very special banner. The pride of the 31 Squadron tradition means a lot to those who'll now march under the same title.
History and tradition is our foundation. You know, basically everything we do stems back from history. We learn from history so that we don't make the same mistakes again and continue to do the things that we've done well in the past.
And according to Jack, history will hold the new marches of number 31 in good stead.
We naturally said it was the best squadron in the Air Force, and even though we skied about it, it is.
The reformed number 31 will also have a special link to the area. It'll be officially known as the City of Wagga Wagga Squadron. Melinda Hayter, Prime News.
After a decade-long closure, Wagga's RAF Heritage Museum will reopen in October. Over the past 18 months, locals have fought hard to resurrect the museum. The Heritage Centre sits at the front of the RAF base at Forest Hill and will now be open 3 days a week. $240,000 has been spent overhauling the inside of the centre, ready for the October opening, and it will be different to before.
What is really fantastic is that part of the Heritage Centre has been set aside to be a community space. It's the largest room in the Heritage Centre, in fact, and that'll be always shaped, designed and managed by a local group, including the volunteers here in Wagga.
Wagga's RAAF base continued its celebrations over the weekend. After the reformation of Squadron number 31, the city came alive as the Air Force was granted freedom of the entry to the city on Saturday morning.
The sea of blue uniforms stood out amongst the grey skies. In a show of pride, hundreds of Air Force members marched in unison to the beat of the Air Force Band. Celebrations to mark the 70th anniversary of Wagga's RAF base.
We really value our relationship with the Wagga community and look forward to it continuing for the next 70 years as well.
The RAF base Wagga, known as the home of the airmen, has been a training ground for the Air Force since 1940. The Freedom of the City parade through the main street, marking a significant milestone with the city.
We consider ourselves to be an important part of the community. We have 1,600 people here at Wagga now and about 300 families, so we contribute a lot towards the community, and there's that good spirit with the base. So 70 years on, it's fantastic.
There was plenty of action on the ground with demonstrations and Air Force puppies. And while the hot air balloon didn't make it into the sky due to bad weather, kids still got a closer look at the balloon and burner.
Wagga's RAF base supports 4 major training units, with every new recruit to join coming through the base here at Forest Hill. The 70th birthday celebrations marking the importance of tradition and culture.
As a training base, it's critical. This is where the people actually get their inculcation of the values and the ethos of the Air Force, fundamentally vital to our business.
Sarah Bonnell, WIN News.